Astronomy, Part 6. How close are our neighbors? How far away are our neighbor galaxies? Hello.
Let me turn to the left a little bit and invoke a famous name in astronomy, Carl Sagan, who had a very interesting answer when he was asked by a reporter about the possibility of intelligent life existing elsewhere in the universe. And he said something like, I would bet my life on it that there is intelligent life elsewhere in the universe, and it doesn't matter.
Oh, snap.
The reporter kind of looked at him, what do you mean? He said, because the universe is so much more vast than most people think about it, that there will be life and we could travel for millions of years in a spaceship with generations producing themselves, and we'd never find it. The analog I think he used was someone in the desert yelling for help, and that there would be someone who eventually would hear that, but the next closest person was 4,000 miles away, and it kind of wasn't relevant. For all intents and purposes, the person was fully alone in the desert, even though there was intelligent life within an airplane ride. Where are our neighbors? How far away are they as you kind of think about it, just roughly generally?
We're really far away from the nearest galaxies, and we actually live in what's called like the local group of galaxies. So we have like a few close neighbors, things that we consider, from a cosmologist standpoint, we consider these things to be close, and they're just so far away that it's totally unimaginable.
And a galaxy has like how many stars, and the average star is maybe like our sun, and it has like 10 planets or something like that. Help us frame, like how big is it? When you say galaxy, how many stars, how many planets are we looking at?
So in our galaxy, we usually say there's about 300 billion stars. So somewhere around, and there's a lot of galaxies out there that are much more massive than our galaxy is. Our galaxy is kind of typical, but there can be trillions of stars in galaxies.
Wow.
So
10 trillion planets, if you figure 10 planets per star, or is that a bad?
Well, yeah, so the number of planets per star is that's a big issue right now in astronomy. People are trying to figure this out. We used to think it was maybe like half a planet per star, something like that. But now we think, maybe it's probably more than that. But we don't really know how many planets per star that we actually get. The important thing is that if we were talking about life, is it an Earth-like planet, or, what we would call an Earth-like planet? It doesn't necessarily have to be Earth-like in terms of, having, continents and trees and whatnot, but it has to have a certain temperature, be a certain distance from the star, and not be, receiving a ton of radiation from the star or something like that. We have relatively few solar flares on the sun. If we had a ton of them, it would be bad news for us.
Yeah, it'd be very tan.
Yeah, exactly.
So let me ask, if we took our best technology today and we traveled at some asymptote of the speed of light, meaning very close to 186,000 miles a second, which is probably way faster than we can actually travel today. But if we could, are we looking at 100 years to get to the nearest galaxy? 1,000?
I think it's like 50 years or something like that to actually get to the nearest star. But yeah, if we were going to go to the nearest galaxy, it'd be a really long time.
Okay, so generations of people living on a spaceship where they just couldn't do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Even if we freeze-dried them.
Right,
Yeah, so
they would have to start eating themselves or something.
Yeah, that would be really bad.
What is the local group? Will we ever reach our neighbors? Like physically, like go there for a latte, or just maybe email them? All right, what qualities must a planet have to support life? How long will it take to reach our nearest star?